All right, let's dive into a topic that is frankly one of the most important things a nonprofit can focus on: onboarding. But we're not talking about just paperwork and HR checklists, right? We're going to reframe this as a powerful strategic tool for building a team that is all in on your mission from the absolute first day. So, let's start with what's really at stake here. Why does this matter so much? Well, check out this number. A staggering 86% of new employees decide if they're going to stay long-term or if they're going to leave within the first 6 months. That is a tiny, tiny window to make a lasting impression and secure their commitment. And this chart just drives the point home. The data is crystal clear. Organizations that have a strong, well-thought-out onboarding program, these see 82% higher retention. For a nonprofit, keeping passionate, talented people isn't a bonus, it's everything. So this isn't just a statistic, this is a direct measure of your mission's health and stability. Which brings us to what we're calling the high-stakes welcome, because that's exactly what it is. Those first few moments, those first days, that first week, that's where you either win someone's heart and mind for the long haul, or you lose them. It's your single best chance to prove that joining your cause was the absolute right decision. Because the flip side is what happens when we get it wrong. And a bad onboarding experience does so much more than just create a bummed out employee. It directly sabotages your mission. People feel disconnected, their performance drops, and eventually they walk out the door. And that costs you precious time, money, and momentum. Now, if you're leading a nonprofit, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds great, but it is just not that simple for us. And you know what? You are 100% right. There are some very real, very specific hurdles that nonprofits have to deal with when it comes to this stuff. And this pretty much sums it up, doesn't it? We're talking tight budgets, a revolving door of volunteers and staff, a culture that's so deep and meaningful it's hard to explain quickly, and just constant, relentless time pressure. So yeah, it's easy to see why a big, structured onboarding program can feel like a luxury you just can't afford. But here's the pivot. Here's where we shift our thinking. The solution isn't about magically finding more money or more hours in the day. Nope. It's about reframing the entire process around the one thing you have more of than anyone else: your mission. The goal is simple: win their hearts and minds from the very first hello. So what exactly is mission-driven onboarding? It's a process that, from the jump, connects every single new person to the why behind the work. It's not about showing them the coffee machine and the Wi-Fi password. It's about immersing them in the purpose that fuels every single thing your organization does. I love this quote because it hits the nail on the head. A truly great onboarding program creates this huge psychological shift. It takes a role that could be just a list of tasks and elevates it into a personal commitment to a shared cause. This, right here, is how you build a team of true believers. Okay, so we're all on board with the why. That's the easy part. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty, the how. This next part is all about turning these ideas into a concrete playbook you can actually start using tomorrow. And this is always the big question, isn't it? Okay, great, this is inspiring, but where do I actually start? It can feel like a lot. The good news is you are not reinventing the wheel here. There are proven, simple steps you can take to create a really powerful experience. So here it is, a simple 6-step playbook. And notice step 1, it starts before their first day. That's pre-boarding. From there, you assign them a buddy, someone they can ask anything. You immerse them in the stories and culture. You set them up for an early win to build that confidence. You help them make friends, and you schedule regular check-ins just to show you're invested. Now, you don't have to cram all of this into the first week. That would be insane. The key is to structure the journey, and the 30, 60, 90-day plan is your best friend. In that first month, it's all about learning and meeting people. By day 60, they're starting to take real ownership of a project. And by day 90, they're feeling confident and handling their core work on their own. It's a roadmap to success. And remember, this is so important. One size does not fit all. You can't onboard a full-time employee the same way you onboard a weekend volunteer. For your paid staff, you're talking about role clarity, performance, their career path. But for volunteers, it's all about that immediate connection to the mission, giving them the specific training they need for their task, and being super respectful of their time and flexibility. So let's say you do all this, you get it right. What's the real long-term payoff? Well, it's about so much more than just one happy new hire. We're talking about a powerful ripple effect that strengthens your entire organization from the inside out. And get this, here's another wild statistic for you. Organizations with strong onboarding see over 70% greater productivity from their new hires. Think about what that means for your cause. That's more impact, more progress, more good in the world, happening faster, right from the start. So really, it all boils down to this. When you invest in a mission-driven welcome, you create this incredible positive cycle. Engaged team members deliver better results, they stick with you when things get tough, and they become your most passionate champions out in the community. In the end, great onboarding isn't a checklist, and it's not a process. It's a promise. It is the very first, most tangible promise you make to every single person who chooses to join your team. It's a promise that says, your work matters, you belong here, and most importantly, together, we will make a difference. I mean, what could possibly be a more powerful way to begin?